The Trump administration today slashed the U.S. diplomatic presence in Cuba and warned Americans not to visit. This is in response to mysterious acoustic attacks on diplomats. Margaret Brennan reports it marks a sharp about-face in U.S. relations with Cuba, which had been improving during the Obama years.
Some very bad things happened in Cuba, very bad things.
The Trump administration warned Americans that it is not safe to travel to Cuba and yanked more than half of U.S. personnel from the embassy. The actions come almost a year after 21 U.S. diplomats staying at this and other Havana hotels reported hearing loss, dizziness, headaches, and difficulty sleeping. Some suffered traumatic brain injury. The attacks were first reported by CBS Radio's Steve Dorsey.
Most of the victims that have come forward with symptoms from these attacks are men. Only 6 are women. Most have been in Havana for just less than a year.
They did some bad things in Cuba.
Investigators have not determined who they are or what those bad things were, but are considering whether some sort of sonic weapon was involved. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson did not blame Cuba or sever U.S. diplomatic ties, which were restored just 3 years ago by President Obama. Republican Senator Marco Rubio of Florida called today's embassy drawdown weak. He wants Tillerson to shutter the U.S. embassy, something the secretary said earlier this month he was considering.
We have it under evaluation. It's a very serious issue with respect to the harm that certain individuals have suffered.
Canadian diplomats suffered similar attacks, but their government is not warning against travel to Cuba. Today, a Cuban official, Josefina Vidal, denied that the Castro government played any role and said Cuba protects all diplomats without exception. Anthony?
Margaret Brennan at the White House. Thank you, Margaret.